Those sort of life skills are some that people just take for granted. We can just naturally pick them up because we've watched someone do them. People should just get it. Whereas actually, when you break it down, it's quite a big thing to just get.
G'day, I'm Deborah Caldo, and welcome to the Red Giraffe Solutions Expanding Worlds podcast, where we aim to support you as you help your young person with additional needs plan for their future. A future where they are safe, secure, and live a rewarding and fulfilling life. From around the world, I share stories and share solutions from people making this possible right now. I'm a parent of a young person with additional needs, so I understand the challenges. Many of the people I've interviewed on this podcast have already helped me design a better future for my daughter, and I hope that they might help you as well to imagine what's possible for your young person. When we think about community, it's often just about the social side of things. But there's an awful lot more to being part of a community. Because when you meet up with other people, you might need to travel to meet up. You might meet up at a restaurant to have dinner, or you could even cook for someone. So there are all sorts of elements of being part of a community, requiring lots of different skills. And this is part of what I'm talking about in the second part of my conversation with Sarah Towler from Casper, about how being part of a community helps us develop other skills, not just relationship skills. And of course, for many people, community now means an online community. So we also talk about that and how to make an online space that creates community in a meaningful way. One of the other things that Sarah talks about as well is the fact that many of these everyday skills our young people need have to be explicitly taught. And this is something I totally agree with, because from my own experience, I know my daughter has mastered skills so much easier when we've taken the time to break down for her what she needs to do, and then supported her to learn that skill in a way that works for her. But enough from me, let's hear more from Sarah about how Casper supports the young people they work with. With the support for young adults and older people, what kind of things does Casper do?
It will always be social and promoting the social element, but that's where we're quite clever and able to then bring in lots of other skills, like focus skills. So we'll do lots of sex education, travel training, independent living skills. And the nice thing is lots of autistic people in general, I'm talking, desire the friendships and the closeness of a companionship, whether that be a relationship or just a friendship. And, you know, if you said to most people, do you fancy cooking me dinner tonight? They'll go, no. If you're doing it as a group of friends, let's go in the kitchen, let's all cook. That companionship enables them to push their boundaries, because obviously we have lots of food issues within our community. So smells, taste, textures can be really hard. And we've seen young people overcome that because that onion needs chopping. It has to go in that bolognese. So they need to chop that onion. Their friends are relying on them, the dish is relying on it, and it all comes together.
When you talk about all the other things like independent skills and travel training and things like that, is that because people aren't getting those skills elsewhere?
Yeah, I believe so. And I think the education system as such, it doesn't teach you how to make a bed. Doesn't teach you how to change a bed, doesn't teach you how to iron. And those sort of life skills are some that people just take for granted. We can just naturally pick them up because we've watched someone do them rather than being taught them. And I think that's a big part of society that we all miss. We all think people should just get it. Whereas actually, when you break it down, it's quite a big thing to just get. So being able to sort of, the safety of turning an iron on, for instance, but why you need an ironing board? Why can't you just iron on the side? There's so much that goes into it when you really break it down. But those things aren't taught in school. They're not taught in any package I've ever seen. The travel training I believe I've seen is purely just getting your child to and from that school. If they was on a train to London and all of a sudden the train stopped, they had to change stations, that would probably cause them in that moment a meltdown through whether it's trying to get somewhere else or dealing with people moving and noise and rushing. It's just change. And there's nothing set up to enable, we don't get taught how to change, your plans that quickly. And training them how to make a phone call, how to call the doctors when you feel unwell. Lots of things we all just take for granted that we just know how to do. There's still a lack of understanding of real neurodivergence for me, of breaking things down, of explaining it in a way that people can understand it. Anything, whether that be travel, whether that be independent living skills, whether that be having a conversation, making a phone call for an interview, going to an interview. It's all just, you just go for an interview. Good luck.
Does that come back then to this sort of idea that people will go, well, someone's got additional needs, they've got autism, therefore they're like this?
Yeah, you're definitely sort of put into a circle of this is what you're like. You're autistic, so you fit within that circle. No one fits within that circle because every autistic person is so individual. And that's for me, as my job, I love that. I love seeing everyone truly be themselves once they've found their place. But yeah, it's lots of it. People go, oh, because they're autistic, they don't like noise. You come to Casper and it's one of the noisiest places you will ever be. When I first started, everyone went, oh my goodness, it must be the most quiet youth club in the world. And I was like, oh, what youth club are you going to? Because mine's definitely not. And we've got some young people and adults, like our adults, particularly one of the favourite trips for our adults is a karaoke trip. Now, that's not typical because autistic people don't like noise, right? But it goes to show it's not everyone is different. Everyone. Let's not put them in this pigeonhole. They have special needs, they can't work. There's many a job that our community could do with the right support and the understanding out there. Stop and think and listen.
Is that something that you can see Casper moving towards, to supporting people in work?
Yeah, I think our main aim for now, our main sort of strategic mission is to grow our services because all of our clubs are closed. We've got a waiting list of 20 to 30 on each one. We need more funding. We don't get any funding from the government or the borough for our core services, our youth clubs, our sort of core offering. We've been commissioned to take on other services. It's like an employability course to try and get some people through into employment or sort of apprenticeships, that type of thing. So there is stuff that we're moving towards.
Geographically, when you say you've got a wait list, it would seem to me that, with all due respect, you're in quite a small area, which suggests that the need is massive and it must be expanding.
Yeah, and people travel really far for us. We have a Connects Discord server, which is all online. We've got people in America, everywhere talking on there because we have staff that work on it. All the staff are neurodivergent and they go on at certain times of the day and they moderate in their chat and then they check for safeguarding.
So this online community is for older people?
For 16 plus people, yeah.
16 plus. So how does it work?
So you can literally just apply to go on our Discord server, Connects it's called. And then it's an online server where there's all different like chat rooms type thing. Young people know this much better than me. But yeah, there's all different chat rooms, like discussion groups. On Discord, we have a session on a Wednesday evening where one of our staff will go on a voice channel and it's a support group. So people can bring their concerns or their worries or their issues and it can be talked about within the group. It's a great way of connecting. There's people from, America all over the world in there. And it's just a nice way of people having community.
There's no doubt that Casper changes the lives of all the young people they support, not only by helping them build the skills that they can use every day of their lives, but also by creating around them that community they know they can rely on. So while we might think about community as being about relationships, it is so much more, as we learn from others and often push ourselves to do more because we see others doing things we want to be able to do. There is that saying that it takes a village to raise a child, but it also takes a community to help us grow as individuals, and that is what Casper does so well. I just wanted to say thank you for taking the time to listen, and I hope that the stories and the solutions shared on here help you as you support your young person to create their future. And if you know anyone who would find the ideas useful, please share the podcast with them. Of course, if you want to, you can leave a review, because that is another way families who need this information can find it more easily. This show is created as part of Red Giraffe Solutions. To find out what the Red Giraffe is all about, visit redgiraffesolutions.com, where you'll find more resources around daily living, relationships, purpose and financial security. I'm at Deborah Caldo on Instagram and Facebook. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. I'd love to have a conversation with you on any of those. Bye for now.